Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for our State of Wrestling. It's been a while since we've done one of these. So with me once again, we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, everything else in between. You need something reviewed, go check him out. Go down in the description box down below. You're going to find a link to our 35th anniversary special on Ninja Turtles.
35th anniversary special of Ninja Turtles. Go watch it. It's Cap's first
Hosted
ever
video.
hosted video where he took complete control and he got us all on board.
Mm-hmm.
It took a lot of work to get
Yeah,
everyone in the same place at the same time, but he got it. You got
this
me,
took months of
Putty, him.
planning.
And you know what? Good for him. He really wanted to do something. It's
Yeah,
it's something that means a lot to him, and it
it's a
would mean a
passion
lot if you
project for
guys can go
go
drop a
show
like.
him some love down there. And while you're down there, show me some love too.
Show him some love.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Help out that algorithm. Let's grow this channel, as we keep saying. And if you can't watch this video, make sure you tune into Spotify down in the description box down below so you can also audio here. That makes sense? No, it doesn't. But
Audio here. If you
audio
want to
here,
hear just
audio
the
there.
audio, then go to Spotify.
Go there. So let's talk about state of wrestling. Where do you want to start?
Let's start in WWE.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of really good. I mean, I don't agree with a lot. You know me. I'm not a
Mhm.
WWE guy.
I'm not a fan of the build so far to Mania.
You're much more of a WWE guy than I am.
Hmm. And I think we just lost the signal. There
I
we go. Sorry. Repeat that because you cut out. You lagged.
You're much more of a WWE guy than I
Hmm.
am. So for you to say that the buildup is a little bit off
Yeah.
means a lot. And to me, it's it's mixed emotions because I do think they're doing a lot of good,
Yes.
especially story wise, because like we already know, like let's dabble in the AEW stuff, and we'll get there when we get to AEW. Where
Hmm.
they're like storytelling has chew,
Yeah.
and even TNA storytelling. WWE hasn't been doing much better, but they're still more consistent. I think.
Yeah.
I don't like what they're doing with the Cody Rhodes storyline, but I can't deny the way the story will play out makes
Yeah.
complete sense. It's just
It
the
does.
having a guy at 50 years old become the greatest champion of all time in to tell a Cody Rhodes storyline that Cody Rhodes at this point, and you can absolutely bash me in the comments because you know I'm a Cody Rhodes. I'm a Cody Rhodes guy. You
Hmm.
and Nick are not Cody Rhodes guys.
No.
Cody Rhodes doesn't deserve this storyline. In my opinion, to have John Cena become the greatest of all time, to put over Cody Rhodes to tell this Cody Rhodes doesn't deserve this.
No.
What is this about? I would just have this match and have him beat John Cena. I don't need him to lose to John Cena to have him win it back at SummerSlam. Do you know, or have him win it back at Survivor Series? Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? It to me, I don't need that because
No.
to me, and in a wrestling fan, encapsulating the word wrestling, having him do that means a lot. And it's not to be disrespectful to John Cena because you know me, he's grown on me, and I used to hate him in the beginning. He really
Yeah.
grew on me, and his body of work progressed through his career. I think he's a really good actor. I think he's funny as hell.
And in the
Um,
last couple of years, he's done a really good job at putting talent over.
he has, but he hasn't been good in the ring at all.
No.
So
I,
my problem is
that's separate that.
that's
Yeah.
that's my problem, right? And it's like, do you WWE fans, strictly WWE fans that don't watch anything else that maybe have adapted to TNA and they're like, well, I watch TNA now, it doesn't count. If you don't watch NXT, it doesn't count. You have to watch. And I'm not judging people what they
No.
watch. I'm just saying that the scope of
To
what it's
have
going
an
to be
understanding, you need to watch New
for
Japan. You
me
need
as
to
a
watch
wrestling,
Noah. You need to
exactly.
watch All Japan. You need to watch
For me to
CMLL.
be a wrestling connoisseur, which
Hmm.
I'm not, but to say that I want to be, there's stuff that you have to watch. And I'm going to have to deal with the WWE fans who are my own friends
Yeah.
who only watch WWE saying, well, now John Cena is the greatest wrestler of all time. And we know he's not. We know he's not. Ric Flair, if you're going to go belt wise, not based on raw skill, if you're going to
Yeah.
go belt wise, belt to skill ratio, Ric Flair is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying Ric Flair is actually the greatest wrestler of all time because he's not.
No,
But you understand
you
what
got
my
to throw names like
perspective
even
is.
though like Bret Hart, you got to throw out
You
there.
have to
Chris
throw Macho
Jericho, you
Man
got to
out there. You
throw.
have to throw Chris
Yeah.
Jericho out there. You have to throw Kenny Omega out there. There's people,
Yeah.
right? The Rock, Stone Cold. There's lots of people. if you're going to go belts to quality ratio, character, everything,
Yeah.
it's Ric Flair. And you're going to tell me John Cena is better than Ric Flair? There's no world where John Cena is better than Ric Flair, and that's fair. If you believe it, you can believe it. But now
Yeah.
that's the status quo I will have to deal with personally as a broad wrestling fan. Talking to WWE fans, because now John Cena will be the greatest. The same guy you booed for
Hmm.
10 years that now is your
Chanting
greatest
John
champion.
Cena sucks.
Do you understand what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm
Yeah.
not trying to put people down. I'm just trying to give my mental perspective on the situation. Because for me, as someone who is watching wrestling as it comes, and I want to point fingers at this guy, this guy, this guy, who's the best, who's the best. I can't not tip my hat every single time to Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
He's the reason I watch. And shout
Wrestling.
out, I'll give you a shout out. Okada. There's a reason I'm watching wrestling right now. It's
It's
Kenny
because of Kenny
Omega
Omega.
versus Okada.
For
That's
you, at least.
literally
Yeah.
it. Not just Kenny. If Kenny and Okada didn't have those 4 matches, me and you are not doing this
I'm
show.
not doing the show. Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it changed my life. We went through COVID, and I was like, let me find. Oh, I found all these cool retro
I
videos of the
told you to.
lists
Yeah.
and
I
stuff,
told you, go check it
go
out.
check it out. And then I subscribed to
New Japan
New
World.
Japan, and I watched, and then Japanese wrestling became like this affinity for me, where it's like I just
Yeah.
can't not. I need this.
Yeah. It's become like an addiction
I don't
almost.
care about North American wrestling
Yeah.
per se.
To
Do
a
you know what
certain
I mean?
extent. Yeah, to a certain extent, of course.
It's like it's not to be disrespectful, but there's such a broad world out there, and to just
Hmm.
say, or sorry, there's such a big world out there, and have such broad strokes to be like, it's John Cena now, and
Well,
but
the
that's what that
WWE
win
like to refer,
means.
yeah, the WWE like to refer to themselves as the universe, but you got to look at it from expanding. It's a multiverse of wrestling.
And like they're touching other bases now, and
Yeah,
that's fair. And it's not. I'm not saying I don't watch WWE. I watch WWE. I don't watch
yeah,
weekly. The only show we watch weekly, I don't know about you, but is
it's Dynamite.
AEW,
Yeah,
and it's only because I want to watch pay-per-view quality
quality
matches.
matches.
I
Yeah,
don't care about the promos because their storyline's not good, and we'll get to that when we talk about AEW. Okay,
yeah,
I'm not here sticking up for AEW. I want everybody to know
yeah.
that. But the way WWE is projecting their storylines, exactly like what you said,
Hmm.
I'm a little more optimistic than you with the storylines they have. But it's that
Well,
specific singular
John Cena wins the
storyline.
Chamber, then you don't hear from him for 3 weeks.
It's that specific storyline for me that bothers me. I'm okay
Yeah,
with all the women's stories. I'm okay
I'm
with the
okay
rest
with
of it. I'm
I'm
okay
okay
with
with Randy
Penta versus Braun, as
Braun.
weird of a matchup as that is. And that promo, someone sent it to me, and shout out to you, Markel. Is it was not bad, but it felt Scott Steiner esque, where it was just yelling words out,
Yeah,
word things, yelling number
144
things.
2/3%
Yeah,
chance.
and but by the way, if you ever actually look at the breakdown of that promo, which you can find it online, it's a very good actual promo. It
What
makes absolute sense. It's
the Braun
not
Breaker?
no
Oh,
the
the numbers.
Scott
Yeah,
Steiner numbers one actually makes perfect fucking
he
sense.
did the
It's
math in
nuts.
his head.
It's I
Yeah,
don't know if somebody wrote it, but it's nuts. It's actually like a really well said promo. It's the way that he comes off like a dum dum that
yeah,
it's but Braun Breaker's promo felt like that. And
yeah.
I want him to fight Penta? I don't know. It's iffy because it's such clashing styles. It would be like having Powerhouse versus Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Do I want to watch that match? Sure. But it's like what is the
And
match?
what world is this going to be?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do think that's good. I do think a well choreographed Gunter versus Jey Uso match will be good.
Hmm.
But I don't think Jey Uso should win the belt. It's psychotic to me,
I
especially the
think
way that we've
I
gone.
think
And
everything here, all the title matches right now, we don't want the challengers to win, and that's what I think may happen because
well,
we got
Jey Uso
John's.
winning, I understand
Yeah.
to the degree of money. The John Cena situation, I understand to the degree of storyline.
Hmm.
But is it worth it to have this situation where now, because of a 3 month reign, I'm going to point at this guy and say he's the greatest wrestler of all time? And is it worth it for me to watch the best wrestler in an entire company lose the belt to a guy who says yeet?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not me even trying to be negative about WWE. I'm just watching this. Like the women's, I get it. Charlotte Flair, especially if Charlotte Flair fucking loses to Tiffy,
Hmm.
is peak wrestling. Name me someone on earth who doesn't want to watch a women's wrestling match where Tiffy Stratton fights Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Is that not like peak women's wrestling?
Yeah.
But Charlotte Flair should not win that fucking
No.
match
No.
because
So
she just
here's
won the
some.
belt. Why do you have to have a chase storyline? Why is there a chase storyline? What's the
Let me
other
throw
match?
some numbers at you. John Cena won the WWE Championship 13 times for a total combined reign of only 1,200 days. So
That's how long is Roman Reigns' reign?
Roman Reigns on four reigns with that particular belt is 853 days.
And what's the reign on the other belt?
Like 4,000 something. 3,000 something.
You see my point?
Yeah.
Like the problem that they had in that
So John
era,
Cena's reign is just 200 days more than Pedro Morales, who held the belt for 1,000
and
days.
how many times did Pedro Morales win the belt? Yeah. Do you see my point here?
Bruno Sammartino,
It's not to
twice.
discredit the guy. I'm trying to stick up for him, but it's the way that you project it because we know how wrestling works. AEW is too baby now, and TNA is still in a weird place where everyone there is kind of new to talk about them specifically. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can watch New Japan in the same way that you watch WWE and watch them be crafting these storylines of like, well, Naito hasn't won in 1,064 days. So when he wins, it's going to be the longest time anyone's
Yeah.
went. Or WWE, where, oh, if he holds this belt for 13 more days, it's going to be the longest anyone's held the under. There's a
Yeah.
constant behind the scenes, not money grab, I don't know why I'm doing this, but like a pull to like, this is why this guy's career is going to be special because he did this
Yeah.
only in WWE and New Japan. There's nowhere else. Because you want to know something, in Noah they win a belt every 10 minutes, and AEW is too new, and TNA has a new crop of wrestlers where that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's always like a legacy thing planned. The problem with WWE specifically, and not to say New Japan doesn't do it, is they plan it too soon. John Cena didn't need to win 10 belts by the time he was 35 years
Yeah.
old for only like 100-day reign. Do you
Yeah.
understand my point?
No, it makes total sense.
Because you won 15 belts or whatever and you tied Ric Flair or you beat Ric Flair, but you held the belt for 200 days means nothing to me.
Yeah.
When
Basically, he's averaging 90 days a run.
and it's not to knock him because I have to give credit to special people. Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
Sting, Ric Flair,
He
John
did
Cena,
carry
Stone
the
Cold.
belt during a very, very lean time in
He's in
WWE.
a special category of people. Like I said, Sting, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man. Um,
Yeah.
think of somebody. Warrior,
Warrior,
um,
Dusty Rhodes,
Dusty Rhodes, who these people that
Undertaker.
not Undertaker,
Okay.
Stone Cold, The Rock, where their wins meant more than Bret Hart's wins. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like them
Yeah.
holding the belt carried this company on their shoulders. JCP doesn't exist without Dusty Rhodes winning the belt, or
Yeah.
WCW doesn't exist without Sting and Ric Flair carrying it, and WWE doesn't exist without The Rock and Stone Cold saving the
Yeah.
company, and then John Cena carrying it through that dark age. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything you've done, but don't point at this man and say greatest of
Yeah.
all time seller Roman Reigns, greatest of all time seller. Actually, maybe even not, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Don't tell me he's the best wrestler of
No.
all time. Like, have some outside of your brain logic. The women's matchups and the mid card matchups are so much more enticing to me
Yeah.
than the main card belts.
So here we go. John Cena held the World Heavyweight Championship three times. So he's a 16-time champion, but he held that belt for 154 days. So in total, on his 16 reigns, okay, 16 reigns, he's held the belt for 1,400 days.
How
On
many
six,
companies?
just WWE.
How many world titles does Kenny Omega have? And that's not. I'm not making a Kenny Omega thing. CMLL. I mean AAA.
Mm-hmm.
New Japan. First Gaijin wrestler to win the G1 tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which that in itself is an
He
accomplishment.
beat Okada. Okay. AAA,
Mm-hmm.
AEW, TNA.
TNA.
That's four. Four companies.
Mm-hmm.
How many companies did John Cena win the belt for?
In one.
How many companies did Dolph Ziggler win the belt for? NXT,
Two.
SmackDown,
Three. Yeah.
Raw. No,
Yeah.
he never won the Raw belt. He won SmackDown, the world title, NXT,
Yeah. And
AAA,
TNA.
TNA. That's
AAA. That's
four.
right. That's right.
And
The
he
global
held a
champion.
belt in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
more impressive to you? The the carrying of the back of the biggest company in the world by John
Mm-hmm.
Cena? Yes, absolutely. But how many companies did he hold the belt in? Do you understand? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just trying to give a perspective on why my thoughts are the way my thoughts are. Chris Jericho, okay, carried an entire division in a failing company. Went to
Mm-hmm.
WWE, helped them prop up it, won both belts, the first unified champion, AEW champion, intercontinental belt in New Japan. Everything else that he's done, in my eyes, and this is not even Ring of Honor. He's the greatest wrestler of all time, and I don't think it's negotiable. I think in terms of promo cutting, character quality, longevity, belts won, I think that Chris Jericho is the greatest wrestler of all time. And I
Yeah.
don't mean that because I think that. I think statistically, it's not
Yeah.
negotiable.
Yeah. It's no, the amount of belts he's won across was it four different
So
companies?
I
Like,
want to pose a question to you before we change subjects. What
okay.
means more to you? Someone in WWE, and this is not to knock WWE, winning the world title and the WWE title in WWE, or someone winning the WCW title in WCW and then also winning in WWE like Bret Hart did? Does it mean more that they did it in two separate companies
It
that
shows
weren't
how good
unit?
they are. Absolutely.
And I think that that's something that,
Yeah.
in my
And
eyes, means a lot.
even Ric Flair, NWA champion, WCW champion, WWE champion, TNA champ. Like he's
Unfortunately, WCW International Champion, which was
yeah,
the belt that was the belt under the belt because the belt went to the belt and they didn't have the
yeah,
belt, so they had to make the belt the belt.
yes.
People who know will know.
So
But
Timmy
like
crunched the
Sting,
numbers
right?
for us. Timmy crunched the numbers for us. John Cena's average title reign is 88 days.
Can
Not
you
even
crunch some numbers for me before we move on? Because I think this is very important. Tell me how many times Kurt Angle won a world title and how long he's won a world title for.
Kurt Angle.
Because this is something that Jeremy, friend of the channel, poses to me all the time. That he thinks that if there had to be an outside shot at who could be the greatest wrestler of all time, he thinks it's Kurt Angle because
In ring work, Kurt Angle is
he was a good
fantastic.
character.
He was a
He
good
understood
character.
comedy.
His Kurt Angle, or as they used to call him, Perk Angle, because he used to take the Percocets in TNA.
We don't do that anymore.
No,
He specifically said he's
he's
doesn't
done
like
with
that.
it. Yeah. So let's see here.
Perk
So
Angle, you
to
bitch.
professional wrestling. Okay, let's hear you go. So,
Not to count his gold medals
no, we're not counting the gold
or
medals.
his NCAA championships.
So, TNA, he has won six TNA World Heavyweight
Okay.
Championships, and he's won the X Division once.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, WWE, he's won the WWE Championship four times and the WCW at the time once and the World Heavyweight Championship. He's also an Intercontinental Champion, European Champion, Hardcore Champion, Tag Team Champion. He's won a King of the Ring.
And what
Um,
else?
he's
New
also
Japan.
New Japan when he unified the belt with Shinsuke Nakamura.
Is that not special?
That is extremely special.
Do we overlook Kurt Angle as one of
I
the
would
greatest?
put that in a higher regard than John Cena just winning 16
That's what I
championships.
mean. So when we look at the grand scheme, and like I said, I'm not here to bash. I'm just trying to give perspective. I'm shouting out other WWE wrestlers. Watching Kurt Angle moonsault off the top of a cage,
Almost died.
does that mean more than three John Cena championships that were for 2 weeks?
Oh, absolutely.
Does putting your body does Jeff Hardy jumping off the top of the stage through a person through a table
Hmm.
mean more than
16
one
world.
title reign that was for 60 days.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even a Jeff Hardy advocate. I'm not even, like I said, I'm not against Cena and what he means to wrestling. He helped save
the
wrestling in the
company.
darkest fucking era in the
Hmm.
history of wrestling.
Yeah,
Okay, not Vern Gagne style, by the way.
yeah.
But does he deserve to be considered in the category even of an Undertaker, let alone a Shawn Michaels or a Bret Hart?
John Cena? No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
fair enough. And
I
and
don't
I-
think
and I
so.
think that storyline's odd, especially when the
Yeah,
the other storyline, the Jey Uso for Yeet, we're giving this guy a belt. The women's storylines and the mid card men's belts are telling such good storylines in WWE that like, where are we going? Let's move
yeah.
on. Let's talk about
And the
AEW.
thing is too, like they would hot shot the belt back and forth so much during that time. It
It
just
made
felt
them
like
worthless.
it just felt like he was just champion all the time.
Listen, I hate to say this, but Roman Reigns made those belts mean a lot, and I
Yeah,
hate it. Please don't quote me on that.
that's fine.
Someone's gonna make a meme.
So
Roman
all
Reigns
I think
made these belts mean a lot.
all of John Cena's title reigns combined do not equal Roman Reigns' title reign with the WWE Championship.
Roman Reigns' title reigns together don't equal fucking Sting winning the tag belts.
Yeah. Has Sting ever won the tag
Listen,
belts? Okay.
I know what Roman Reigns meant to that era, which was another dark period of
The
wrestling.
COVID era, yeah.
But I'll take John Cena over Roman Reigns any day. Not
Yeah.
even close.
Yeah.
I would rather watch a peak John Cena match any day than the best Roman Reigns match.
Yeah, because when Roman Reigns was champion for 10 minutes of the match was just walking around the
I would
ring.
rather watch a peak John Cena match than a peak John Moxley match. I don't care. Not counting Japanese wrestling.
Japanese Mox is different.
Not counting when he just literally smoking a cigarette, wearing the jacket, pretending that he's fucking what's his name from F what is it? What is the thing I'm thinking of? Why is my brain not
I
working?
have no idea.
What's the company called that was like fucking
Oh, I see an
it's
IZ
FPW?
FCW. Was it FCW?
FCW. Was it FCW? Why is my brain not working, bro? Hold on, wait, I'm gonna look at it. Bro, what's Anita?
CZW.
No, not fucking CZW. The Japanese wrestling. Oh
Oh, the
my God,
death
what's
match.
Anita? Onita, the
Yeah.
guy who created the company. Like that, people don't even know this. John Cena's whole character is based on Onita.
Oh, really?
Onita wrestler. Watch. So Onita's go look at a thing of Onita, him wearing the leather jacket, smoking. You know what his theme song was? Wild Thing.
Thing.
He created FCW or whatever it is. Hold on, I'm gonna
IPW, Insanity Pro.
FMW. He created
FMW.
FMW,
Okay.
which is if there's no FMW, by the way, there's no Hayabusa, and if there's no
Hmm.
Hayabusa, there's no AJ Styles. We don't get any of the modern wrestlers of that thing. Like I just
Yeah.
this is a weird thing to touch on, and I'm ranting about nothing because I'm drunk. If there's no Onita, there's no FMW, there's no Hayabusa. If there's no Hayabusa, like the
Yeah.
Pentas, the Ray Phoenix, the modern era of,
There's no Ultimo Dragon.
I mean, there's probably still Ultimo Dragon, but not to the extent that we get him. Hayabusa is one of the most important wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get enough credit for what he did because right when he started to his burgeoning like experience of in America, he got the neck injury and
And
like
that's it. That messed him up. And that's it. And he shortly passed after that.
shout out to Hayabusa, like
Yeah.
one of the greatest, one easily in the argument for one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. That came up
Yeah.
in a company that was so hardcore they were doing literally death matches, and he was not that guy.
Yeah.
I watched, by the way, you can watch this. I posted it in my story. I just watched it. Masahiro Chono versus Onita in a barbed wire death match at
Hmm.
Wrestle Kingdom. And bro, it's fucking so fun because you could tell right away that Chono was like, I'm not having no part of this. You're
Yeah.
gonna take all the bumps and I'm just here to exist.
Yeah.
And it's like Chono is one of the greats, bro.
Yeah. Chono
Without
versus Muda, that
without
rivalry.
Chono, without uh
Muda.
Muda, wrestling. It doesn't exist now.
Yeah, we're not getting moonsaults and shining wizards without
Without those
Muda.
guys, we don't have Nakamura. We don't have Tanahashi. We don't, and they don't save Japanese wrestling. And
Yeah,
without them,
we
we
don't
don't
have
get
Okada.
Hayabusa, and we don't get AJ Styles, and they don't
We don't
save
get
American
we
wrestling.
don't get Kenta. We don't get Shibata. We don't get
They don't save wrestling.
yeah,
That's the thing. The reemergence of Lucha, WCW saving what would be
Mexican
light
wrestling.
heavyweight wrestling,
Yeah, lucha style.
WWE with the not ruthless aggression. What's it called?
The attitude, not
Attitude
attitude
Era.
era.
Without the Attitude Era, without
Monday Night
the
Wars.
light heavyweight stuff from WCW, without the reemergence of those guys in Japanese wrestling, without CML coming out and doing what they did, wrestling is over. In
Yeah,
2010, wrestling fails and it goes away forever. And we don't have wrestling, and we're not doing this show, and we're not talking about
yeah,
all these great people.
yeah. Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
All right, let's talk about AEW. Their
We went off on a
storylines
tangent.
suck,
Yes, but the
and
matches are phenomenal.
I can't not deny that the Hurt Business or whatever the hell they're called
The Hurt
is
Syndicate.
primo shit.
Yeah,
Listen,
they're doing.
coming
And
into
the third time MVP has done this gimmick.
coming into this week, I want to talk about this. Coming into this week of Dynamite,
hmm
which was I'll click on this thing and tell you the date. It was
The
Wednesday the
20
26th of
26th.
March. AEW was like, I don't know what's happening. Tony Storm storyline with
Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa and Megan Bayne. Okay, it's going good. MJF storyline with the Herd Syndicate. Okay, weirdly, it's going really good. The FTR storyline that I don't care about at all is going really
It's
good.
yeah, somewhat.
John Moxley finally, whatever they're doing is making sense. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, we have a thing now.
What's going
Swerve is
on?
back. Swerve's
Yeah.
going hard. And then what? Kenny Omega, Mike Bailey, and Ricochet.
In a
Oh,
three-way,
okay. Suck my
please.
dick. Oh, Takeshita is just beating up everybody. Thank you.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, in 2 weeks of weekly TV, AEW literally saved their own asses, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden, all the storylines are good.
They're making sense.
Since
And they're
when?
making sense.
Billy Starks, Sasha Banks. There's just all these fucking things happening.
Megan
Whatever.
Bain.
It's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Do you
Even
understand? Like, I know
Penelope
I sound
Ford.
like a little fucking screaming child after all that WWE shit that took like 30 minutes to get through. But in what world did we come from our last state of AEW to here where I'm like, oh my God, what the hell?
Yeah. And the
Well, the
match
last pay-per-view
quality has
was
been
great.
consistent, the
It's
same.
always
Like,
consistent. The match
yeah.
quality is always good. It's AEW. You're not getting bad match quality. Watch Ring of Honor. You're getting good match quality. Just nobody
Yeah.
cares about Ring of Honor. Watch TNA. You get wicked matches in TNA.
Yeah. You do.
But like, I
And
was like,
like if you go
what?
back and watch a review
In
to
what world did
sacrifice.
we not want to just homosexually lick the screen of Kenny Omega versus
Good thing
Mike
I'm not
Bailey, and then
monetized.
guess what? Ricochet is going to be there too. What?
Yeah.
This is like me watching. If I okay, I started watching wrestling way later, but this is like pretend I'm in 2018, 2017 before Ricochet goes.
Yeah.
Mike Bailey wasn't even a thing. Goes to WWE. And I'm watching Kenny Omega versus Okada, and then someone walks out. It's Ricochet, and he's like, "I want to have a three-way match between me, you, and fucking Naito." And I'm like, "What? What's happening right now?"
Okay.
That's what's happening. Mike Bailey is so good. I'm not
Yeah.
comparing him to Naito. Like, don't take that as I'm just comparing an era to an era. Like,
Yeah.
imagine in 2018 if Ricochet was like, "I want you," and you were gonna get
Yeah.
Ricochet versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah. This is 2018, so this is just after he left Lucha Underground.
I don't care if you hate or you hate or you hate or you hate because I'm not a fan or a fan or a fan of what he's doing. But to pretend like you didn't want to watch Ricochet versus Shelton Benjamin in
Yeah.
Noah in 2017, you're an idiot. There's no
Yeah.
way you didn't. And then when you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's gonna be Ricochet versus Kenny, I'm like, what? And Mike Bailey,
Sure. Please.
sign me up.
The just like that meme, shut up and take my money, right?
Shut up and take it away. Listen, don't abuse your ability to have plunder matches. Don't abuse your ability to show blood in your pay-per-views.
Right. But don't overdo it.
Don't abuse it.
Yeah.
But if you give us the right amount, what you're setting up here, Swerve versus Moxley, that three-way match, Tony Storm versus Megan Bayne,
Yeah.
FTR in the three-way match at rated FTR, that there could potentially be a win for FTR to get the trios titles, which desperately, as fans of FTR that we both
Hmm.
are, to see them win another belt on their fucking notch on their hat, and then
Yep.
also have that turn storyline that has potential, or
Yeah.
maybe Christian comes out and has a thing with Edge. Buddy, you're telling me sexy, sexy
Yeah.
storylines.
Like, yeah. So right now, let's
Sexy.
run through that card. Like the matches so far on that card. You got Kenny Omega, Ricochet, and Mike Bailey for the
I don't
International
need to talk
Championship.
about that.
Mox versus Swerve for the World Championship.
Don't need to talk about that. Swerve is the
Tony
king.
Storm versus Megan Bayne.
Don't need to talk about Tony Storm's the king.
And then the Death Riders versus FTR.
You only have 4 matches on a card, and I'm already absolutely locked in
Here we
from a
go.
company who cannot tell a storyline for the life of them.
Chris Jericho versus Bandito. Title versus mask.
Guess who's winning?
Bandito.
And guess who we want to win?
Bandito.
And guess what's going to be a wicked match?
Bandito versus Chris Jericho.
Can't complain.
Yep. And then even this one. Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole for the TNT Championship.
That's literally the Adam Garcia. Sorry, the Adam Garcia. That's the Daniel Garcia match that we've deserved for 2
Hmm.
pay-per-views.
Yeah.
For 2 pay-per-views. 2.
Since December.
Even if you take the belt from him, he deserves this match.
Yeah.
He's a great wrestler.
It'll cement his career.
He's a
Yeah.
great wrestler. Adam Cole can put on a good match. Put him in the right situation. Stop giving us nonsense shit.
Yeah.
Give
See,
us the matches we deserve.
this is what I would
you know
do.
Takeshita is fighting Okada. We know it's fucking coming. There's
Yeah.
no way Takeshita is
He's
not
not
fighting
fighting
Okada.
Okada. Now, I'm putting my Booker hat on right now. Okay. And this is what I would do. Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole. He's going to lose.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Bryan Danielson comes back, takes Garcia under his wing to win the belt back.
Okay, let me give you a Booker. He comes out, takes a grieving Garcia. When we get to the match rated FTR, Mash Islamovich Jr. and fucking John, what the fuck's his name?
Carpenter?
John Moxley show up to interfere, and Garcia and Thing come out at the end, and Bryan Danielson. No, you can't do that. That match gets saved by Bryan Danielson,
Yeah.
and then they'll later tell a Daniel Garcia storyline.
Okay.
You
I'll
have
take it.
his return has to be to spite John Moxley.
It has to be, yeah.
It has to be in the main event. It has to happen right now, and if they don't do it right now, they fucked up this entire company.
Yeah.
In that main
He
event,
costs Mox the belt.
he
and
costs Mox
Swerve
the
wins.
belt, and then we get the Moxley Danielson match for nothing at the next pay per view, and
Yeah.
he takes Danielson. I'm not. What's his name under his wing?
Garcia.
Garcia. Anyways, let's move on from WWE. I mean
AEW.
New Japan's telling all kinds of sexy, sexy baby. Yes, you got me licking
David,
my
David,
lips for
you
your
got
storyline.
David Finley. You got David Finley versus Hiroki Goto.
He's gonna win. He's gonna fucking
yeah.
win.
So he
He's
doesn't
gonna
leave.
win. And you know what's gonna happen? I'm telling you right now. Listen, I'm almost ready to stand up.
Which
Shota
tune in next
Umino
week.
is going to win the G1 tournament and
face-
then beat him at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, because we got.
It's going to be a long, drawn-out
Here we go.
storyline.
We'll run this card down for you too. Uemura versus Sonata, grudge match.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Phantasmo versus Great Okan.
Sexy.
Okay. Tanahashi versus Umino. I'll take it because it's
if
old
he puts
versus
over
new.
Umino, if he fucking actually lets the guy win, beautiful.
Yeah. 6-man tag team match. House of Torture versus the War Dogs for the 6-man belts. Kid, Maloney, and Ishimori.
Yeah, they have to win. They have to
Ta
win. If
Takeshita?
they don't win, if they do not win, I lost complete faith in New Japan
Now
storytelling.
here's where you're gonna get your boner. Takeshita versus Oiwa for the Never Openweight Championship, right?
Takeshita wins.
LIJ defending the belts
Takeshita
against
wins to lose it at the next pay-per-view against Oiwa.
LIJ defending against Cobb and Newman.
Cobb's gone. So
That's it.
it's a put over for
Naito and Tanahashi.
that's cute though.
Yota Tsuji versus Evil for the Global Heavyweight
He
Championship.
yeah, Yoda's gonna win.
And Goto versus Finley for the World
Finley's gonna
Championship.
if Finley doesn't win this time, they're gonna have a rematch at Dominion
Yeah.
and it's gonna be a win. There's only one thing we have left to talk about,
Hmm.
and that's TNA, and I don't have much to say except that right now.
Their matches are good, but their storylines are going nowhere.
But they're no. The storylines are all going in the right direction. They're just
Hmm.
not good.
Yeah.
And I can't knock it. I need Masha to have real matches. I don't want to talk. Listen to me. I think the tag thing with the Hardys is fine. I think the
Hmm.
world title thing is fine. Whatever Moose is doing is fine. But my main finger pointing situation is the women's division because Masha needs a real. It needs to be Masha versus skinny girl that nobody likes,
Tessa?
Tessa Blanchard. It has to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And you can let Tessa win, but not the first match. Masha needs
Nah.
to win the first match, and it needs to be an absolute banger that goes to like a Texas death match.
And see who they brought back. Zaya Brookside.
They have to. They
Yeah.
have to. And it's funny because I watched a whole interview thing with Mariah May. I don't know if it was uh, Chris Van Vliet,
Hmm.
but it was somebody, and they were
Oh,
asking her
that's who we didn't
questions.
mention. Shirakawa.
They were asking her questions, and she was talking about Mina Shirakawa, and she goes, "Me and another foreign wrestler." So she literally couldn't even name Zaya Brookside in the interview, but like,
Yeah. But
Zaya, we know
Shirakawa,
Zaya has the
AEW.
talent. Oh, Shirakawa's special. You know what? Can I tell you something?
Hmm.
And judge me unfairly if you want. At this point, I think Mariah is better than Mina.
Yeah. Where
I
she is
think
in her career, absolutely.
just like generally as a wrestler, after watching the matches, like there's no way, not no way. It's gonna take a lot for any match to beat Tony
Yeah.
versus Mariah. It's gonna take
Yeah.
a lot because you want to know why it's gonna take a lot because Julia versus Stephanie Vacour didn't do it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only match, in my opinion, that we see upcoming that has a chance is Charlotte versus
Tiffy
Tiffy because I don't even think Megan Bain versus Tony is gonna.
is gonna do it. It might be. It might be
It
close.
could, I mean, it could be.
Ooh, we got Windy City Riot, ELP and Rocky Romero versus Naito and Titan.
I don't give a fuck about that. I don't want to watch that nonsense tag shit. You know how I am. Don't give me build up match. AEW's still doing it. Don't give me a trios match leading up to a match.
Gabe
Don't
Kidd
give.
versus Ishii, 30-minute Iron Man match for the Strong
All
Championship.
right. Okay. Yes. Fine. Okay. You know what? Fuck you. Fine. Yes.
Takeshita versus Tanahashi for the never open weight.
This is it. This is the moment. This is how you know Takeshita is the real deal. He's gonna get a double put over. He's gonna beat Knight. He's gonna beat Tanahashi,
Hmm.
and he's gonna win against
Oiwa?
Oiwa. And
I don't
it's
know
gonna
because
be
this
his
is
match. No,
Tanahashi's
because
last match in the US.
he's gonna beat Tanahashi. Tanahashi is finally gonna put somebody over. Not to mention the other matchup we just talked about. He's gonna finally put somebody over, and then he's gonna put Shota over, and he's gonna beat Takahashi's gonna beat Oiwa, and then at Dominion, Oiwa's gonna win the belt. Oiwa's gonna have a rematch against Takahashi or
Takeshita.
Takeshita, and he's gonna win.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be erotically charged, and that's it. I
And
don't want to talk about
we got to
wrestling
get some
anymore.
Ozawa matches in there too now.
I don't want to talk about wrestling anymore.
Anyway, it's late, guys. We got to get going. So thanks again for joining us. With that out of the way, make sure you tune in next week. the aforementioned Sakura Genesis will be reviewed for you right here. So make sure you have those bell notifications turned on. Go check out the Turtles video, please. Give Show Caps all your love. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.